David Coughlin, first of all, our first speaker.
Dankeschön, Herr President. Well, I don't know what to make of all this. Seems to me like an enormous storm in a teacup. I don't exactly know what your point is. Basically, you don't like American policy. In Iran, well, that's neither here nor there. And it seems like a problem between police and judiciary in Slovenia. Why didn't they act? Well, why doesn't Slovenia just sort it out? This should be left to the Slovenian government to investigate, nothing to do with the EU. It's interesting to have a hearing, but this should be the competence of the nation state, not the EU. They shouldn't be sticking their noses into everyone else's business. The EU is just looking for something to do, interfering in just about everything, to justify the huge bureaucracy and massive salaries of the people in this building. States should resist EU interference. Let's keep banks out of government's hands. We need free markets, not crony capitalism. And that's what you're after, crony capitalism. Now, Ms. Scott Cato again, so I'm afraid she's not here, but she again had a cake at the City of London. Well, the City of London makes a great deal of money for Great Britain. It's one of the most important things we have. And it's under attack by the European Union because they want to get more money out of the British taxpayer as a divorce settlement. And quite frankly, it's very wrong of her to have a go at the City of London. And quite frankly, as a British person and a British representative of the people, I find it distasteful. But there you are. I can't understand, sir, what this is all about. It seems like a waste of everybody's time and taxpayers' money. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Vielen Dank, David.
Thank you very much, David. David? So, euro clearing in the Eurozone ought to take place, and he gave us the perfect reason for that. Yes, please. Who would like to respond to the particular comments made by David? Yes, please. Chairman, I'd like to say that as far as blocking money laundering, two things ought to be investigated. First of all, suspicion of that, and then financing of terrorism. And that's why I mentioned a particular case in my presentation. Here we have 2,000 accounts from individuals, and through these accounts, hundreds of millions of euro are flowing for one purpose or another. We don't know. And there's something else I'd like to mention as well. We would like from you, we've been invited by you here to present this particular case, and I'm ever so grateful for that. When institutions in Slovenia, in a concerted fashion, had they dealt with this particular case, a solution would have been found, but that was not the case. Now, the fighting of corruption, the particular commission that's in charge, or committee that's in charge of that, well, before its inquiry came to an end, it received some sort of job concerning compliance and NLB. And right now, we have to establish how information on money laundering and NLB's involvement in that, how all of that has happened. What is the background? What is taking place? So Mr. Spolgart, who was a foreign minister at that time, is now the representative in Kosovo. And then the particular individual who's in charge of fighting corruption, at that time, he is now Minister of Justice. And the Republic of Slovenia candidate for the Council of Europe position of Commissioner on Human Rights. So you see, all of these people are in key positions or are candidates for key positions. I think it's absolutely imperative here that the EU work together with the government of Slovenia in order to look at these particular suspicious accounts, these suspicious flows of funds, and undoubtedly it's of interest and importance for the EU. A short remark regarding that? Yes, please.
The police was, of course, investigating this problem. As I said before, according to our sources, they were in contact with practically the whole international community, money laundering institution, and so on, but they simply couldn't really solve the Middle East problem by themselves.
Vielen Dank. Ich habe jetzt noch zwei.
Thank you very much. Now, two people wanted to take the floor.
Clearing should happen in Europe and not in London. Well, I'm afraid that's why London's leaving, because we don't want all this interference from a bunch of bureaucrats in Brussels who are destroying business. We don't want to end up as an economic basket case like the rest of Europe.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Das ist eine andere Tagesordnung.
That's another agenda point. Let's leave that for some other time. So, now for the EPP.